This was a special chapter in a volume of Science from 1991. Regarding the administrator of our house, he unfortunately died around 1988. I asked the husband of one of my co-workers to take over the administration for a limited time, which he did for about 2 years, until we found a permanent replacement in 1990. Around 1989, one of my best friends, Irina, passed away before I could see her again, as I could not get a visa at that time. In 1990, when things changed, I went to Poland with Irina and met her daughter Elżbieta, whom I had known since the day she was born. We had been very close to the family and were called uncle and aunt by the children. We stayed in contact for some time afterward, but later the contact faded. I do not know if they still live in the same apartment. I believe I mentioned earlier that in 1975, Helena traveled to Russia. Our son completed his PhD and moved to MIT in 1975 to continue his studies in theoretical physics. His wife was studying biochemistry at Harvard University. Their first son was born, and at the end of 1976, our son moved to California for his postdoc and rented a house in Richmond. For the next several years, we visited them during every vacation, often driving across the United States from east to west, both through the North and the South. Whenever we attended conferences, we tried to route our travel through California to spend time with them and watch the grandchildren grow up. We tried to be with the children as much as possible and show them our love. My son was a very good father, although sometimes he tried to introduce them to museums, art, and culture perhaps a bit too early. He even took them on extensive trips across Europe when they were young. Helena became very important at her college. She developed the master's degree program and later the PhD program. Her students were very fond of her. Her first PhD student, who had originally been a technician, became a close friend of ours along with his wife, and that friendship continues to this day. Another student and his wife also became very close friends. Their children visited us often and regarded us as grandparents. One of them, Carl, was especially helpful later when we sold our house in 1992. He acted as our attorney without accepting any payment. Unfortunately, a disagreement over a bill from another attorney in the same office later strained the friendship. Helena became quite upset and rude about it. I tried to calm the situation, but the warmth of the friendship was never fully restored. It ended on a sour note a few years before her death, possibly because her illness had already begun. During those years, we continued attending many national and international conferences and symposia. In 1990, we visited Poland again to arrange the new administration of our house. We also traveled to Israel for a meeting in the Negev. In 1991, Helena's cousin died, and she went alone to the funeral because I could not accompany her. In 1992, we returned to Poland to finalize the sale of our house. The German embassy had informed us they would be vacating it, so we sold it at a good price. I arranged the money transfer through Carl, and Helena signed the contract. At the end of 1992, Helena went to Turkey as a Fulbright Fellow to teach PhD students at the University of Istanbul for half a year. I joined her there for some time. In 1993, she went to the University of Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, again to teach PhD students. I joined her later. While there, we renewed our friendship with a former Polish colleague who was now a professor of soil microbiology. We visited beaches, including Copacabana, and traveled around Brazil. During one swim, a large wave hit my back and worsened my existing back pain, but I recovered enough to continue. Helena retired from the college around 1991 or 1992 at age 70. She regretted it because shortly afterward, the mandatory retirement age rule changed. In 1994, we visited Tunisia and Rome. In 1995, we took a long trip to Egypt with a senior group from Canada, sailing from Cairo along the Nile, visiting pyramids, the Sphinx, museums, and many historical sites. From Egypt, we went to Israel again. In 2011, we visited China, stopping first in Hong Kong and then Beijing. We also traveled with an American senior group to see the Great Wall and other provinces. Between 2001 and 2008, our life was quieter. We made regular visits to California and received visits from friends. When I turned 90, around 2007, I had cataract surgery that unfortunately worsened my vision, so I stopped driving. Helena then did most of the driving, although her spatial orientation was not very good, so I had to guide her. Eventually, Helena found it difficult to prepare meals and manage the house, so we decided to move into a retirement community. After looking at options in Schenectady and New Jersey, we visited several places in the Whiting area that offered continuing care.